Welcome to the Science of Womanhood. I wanted to talk to you guys today a little bit about why I talk about more than just science, and why I believe that science is intertwined with what I'm talking about. So, one of the things I think that our current culture has kind of failed in doing is that we've created science into a religion. And there are people that it's like, well, what does the science say? And that's not how science is meant to be treated, because science is meant to be questions. And if you ever get to a point where it's like, well, this is what the science says, it stops being science, because the whole point of being a scientist and the whole point of science is to ask questions. And it's constantly evolving, and we're constantly discovering more about things. And so to act like science has the ultimate truth is not only not accurate to how science should work and function, it also is not helpful in our lives, because it creates a situation where we won't be engaging our reason and using logic to think about what we're looking at and the information we're looking at. It creates a situation where we're more likely to be able to be taken advantage of by people who want us to trust the science and do whatever stat they pulled out, because stats are super easy to manipulate. And on top of that, our scientific communities have stopped teaching ethics and morals, and philosophy. My dog's about to get stuck in a tree, so I'm trying to get him untangled. Glacier, come here. Good boy. Here's Glacier. You're stuck, dude. Hi. You're getting stuck. So when we have this sort of religious view of science without any grounding in morals, ethics, or philosophy, we create science where it's only science when it's convenient to people's currently held beliefs, or we have people who have very, very strong political opinions in either direction that are looking for certain answers instead of coming at this the way science was meant to be, which is looking for an answer to a question and seeing what science and what the scientific method brings them and what observations they can make. We live in the United States, at least, we live in a culture and an environment where we have an overabundance of scientific studies that have been done, but most of them are non-reproducible or proven wrong. I want to say within 5 years. Don't actually remember the number, but a lot, like so many studies, and so many of them are garbage and need thrown out. So the reason I bring this up is because, though the name of this channel is The Science of Womanhood, the foundation of that is science in the sense of let's ask questions and let's evaluate and observe and use our reasoning to come to the conclusions that are best for our life, but that can't be divorced from philosophy or reason. Because if we believe in moral relativism, then nothing is true and anything can be true, and there's no point in pursuing science. Like, there can't be your truth and my truth, because then there's no truth. It's a self-refuting statement, and this is why philosophy is so important. I actually had a biology class where my biology teacher was also a philosophy professor. And we ended up talking about moral relativism once in my biology class, and it was really helpful. And he had that exact conversation with a student about your truth, my truth, and paradoxes, and it was very interesting. That class had nothing to do with biology, but I also think it was one of the most helpful classes we had in biology. And I believe that all scientists should have a grounding in philosophy, the basics of philosophy, to be able to pursue science. Hopefully this clears up a little bit about the name and why I don't just talk about scientific studies, why I'm talking about and verbalizing things that I'm thinking through and working through, and observations and things like that. So moving forward, I'll probably start talking quite a bit about philosophy, specifically also spirituality stuff. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to comment below. Like this video if you liked what you saw, and feel free to subscribe and hit the alert button if you want an alert when I drop these videos. Thanks for watching.